Am revenit, doamnelor și domnilor, cu partea a doua a emisiunii Viitorul, medicina holistică. Și, doamna doctor, da, cum creăm realitatea noastră? Că am tot vorbit despre conștientizare, despre realitate, dar cum o creăm?
Trebuie să știți așa, e foarte interesant. Știți, noi nu ne dăm seama de fapt cum suntem, că noi avem și corp, avem și minte, avem și conștiință, avem și suflet. Corpul nostru este numai un vehicul biologic, lucru pe care mare majoritatea nu îl înțeleg. Și el ne duce prin viață. Toate sentimentele sunt reacții corporale și fiecare gând pe care îl gândim declanșează în glanda pituitoare, ca să înțelegeți cum funcționăm, prin neurotransmițători adecvați gândirii, un impact în corp. Și o să pregătim un filmuleț, anunțăm de acum ca să filmulețul numărul 3. Așa, deci acești neurotransmițători pe care glanda pituitară îi secretă, ei ajung la celule și impactează celulele. Celulele rezonează și ele răspund prin niște schimbări pe care le percepem ca sentimente, ca emoții. De exemplu, în plexul solar percepem frică. De exemplu, la nivelul regiunii inimii, dragostea, iubirea, la nivelul, de exemplu, stresul și la nivelul ficatului și îngrijorarea la nivelul stomacului. Vedem, pe de altă parte, vedem numai ce mintea noastră crede, știe că putem vedea. Deci, dacă, de exemplu, dumneavoastră vă propuneți să vă proiectați, să faceți o sumă mare de bani, dar atât de mare, foarte mare, și mintea dumneavoastră vă spune nu cred că o să faci toată suma asta de bani, eventual jumate sau pe sfert, n-aveți nicio șansă să o faceți pe toată, fiindcă mintea dumneavoastră nu poate concepe acest lucru. Și dacă este filmulețul gata, să-l și dăm.
O să invit pe telespectatorii noștri să urmărim împreună acest filmuleț.
When Columbus's armada landed in the Caribbean, none of the natives were able to see the ships, even though they existed on the horizon. The reason that they never saw the ships was because they had no knowledge in their brains or no experience that clipper ships existed. So the shaman starts to notice that there's ripples out in the ocean, but he sees no ship, but he starts to wonder what's causing the effect. So every day he goes out and looks and looks and looks, and after a period of time, he's able to see the ships. And once he sees the ships, he tells everybody else that ships exist out there because everybody trusted and believed in him. They saw them also.
The experiment with the upside-down glasses. This man Slater built these glasses made of prisms and lenses so that you saw things upside down. And he had a group of people wear these glasses, and he asked them to sustain wearing them. It was very uncomfortable for them because they saw people sort of walking upside down. But if they kept the glasses on, then after 2 to 3 weeks, depending upon the individual, then with the glasses on, flip, they saw everything right side up. And if they took the glasses off at that point, flip, they'd see things upside down. So what happens, the way I interpret that, is that the mindset was so strong that people walk right side up, that with the glasses on, that mindset created a force to cause the neural dendrites to grow in such a way as to create an inversion mirror in the brain. And then once that hardwired structure was built, and you take the glasses off, now it has to dissolve that structure in order to see things the way you expect to see them. That's called neural learning now. We do it all the time. And I think that's the way it goes. The dilemma is people don't manifest a lot of these things because their mindset, the mindset of our world, says that we can't do those things. Those things aren't real.
Subway exhibit comes to us from Japan and Mr. Masuro Emoto. Mr. Emoto became terribly interested in the molecular structure of water and what affects it. Now, water is the most receptive of the 4 elements. Mr. Emoto thought perhaps it would respond to non-physical events. So he set up a series of studies, applied mental stimuli, and photographed it with a microscope.
For one sample of water, we drop about 0.5 cc's onto each 50 petri dishes. Then we take those 50 petri dishes and freeze them in a freezer at minus 25 degrees Celsius for about 3 hours. We take those frozen samples into a refrigerator that is set at minus 5 degrees Celsius, where a microscope with a camera is set up. There we take photographs of each of the 50 water drops individually. We first take photographs of water that we did not put any information in. Then we take the water with information and do the same procedure just described. We take those before and after photographs and compare the differences. When we projected the feeling of love and thanks to water, it made the most beautiful crystal. At times like this, I think water is at peace.
This first picture is a picture of water from the Fujiwara Dam. And this picture is the same water after receiving a blessing from a Zen Buddhist monk. Now, in this next series of pictures, Mr. Emoto printed out words, taped them to bottles of distilled water, and left them out overnight. This first photograph is a picture of the pure distilled water, just the essence of itself. These subsequent photographs, as you can see, are each different. This is the chi of love. And we move along here to thank you. And you can see where he taped that to this bottle here. But if you read Japanese, you already knew that. Now, Mr. Emoto speaks of the thought or intent being the driving force in all of this. The science of how that actually affects the molecules is unknown, except to the water molecules, of course. And it's really fascinating when you keep in mind that 90% of our bodies are water.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
Recently, there was the huge tsunami that happened in the ocean, and you wrote that the prayer for that. That was great. Thank you. I've noticed that when something like that happens, it seems like people from around the world, suddenly there's this outpouring of support and help. There's something about helping on the world level that seems to uplift everyone. What do you make of that?
やはりその過去もう10年ぐらいの間にいろんなところで実験を
Through my 10 years of research, I have been visually sending the message to people all over the world that people's prayers and thoughts can affect reality no matter where they are.
皆さんに届けられています。
So because this idea had already been accepted by many in the world, people probably thought, oh, so that's how it works. If we try, our energy can reach there. Then we should all pray. And this is the reason why there are no great outbreaks of infectious disease as a result of the tsunami disaster. With the repetition of similar actions, people may start regaining faith in prayers. Therefore, in other words, there may be more disasters, be it natural or man-made, that would create more casualties along the way. Through these experiences, more people may be able to perceive these problems as their own, that they are all responsible as well.
We
really learn to love that these particular problems of separateness would just disappear like a flimsy mist when the morning sun comes about.
But that's the result of this experiment.
A colleague of mine, Alex Went, is a sociology professor at Ohio State University, and he's writing a book on the premise that quantum consciousness exists and there's subconscious quantum entanglement between people. And if that's the case, then it also exists among groups of people, societies, governments, politics, and so forth. And the implications of that for this subconscious quantum entanglement interactions among people and groups of people has profound implications on the way the world runs, on the way society and governments and politics go on.
If we claim, for example, based on research, that group meditation lowers crime, prevents terrorism, even stops open warfare in war-torn areas, which is absolutely true every time, that's such important research. It needs to be done again and again, published again and again, presented again and again. So I'm a little bit more involved now with the application of the knowledge of unity, how that applies to life, how it can be accessed through meditation and harnessed and utilized through group meditation.
Am revenit în direct. Doamna doctor, din câte am înțeles, am urmărit filmulețul, iată că gândurile noastre frumoase, să vorbim de partea frumoasă a lor, chiar pot genera niște stări pozitive, pot concretiza niște lucruri frumoase.
Pot să ne transforme realitatea, e mai mult decât atât. Ia uitați, putem să ne folosim mintea, pentru că mintea, ați văzut, transformă apa, dar corpul nostru poate să transforme orice. Deci putem să folosim gândurile, mintea noastră, putem să lucrăm cu conștiința noastră, trebuie să ne aducem mintea și conștiința la nivelul pieptului, că prin rugăciune, de exemplu, rugăciunea este de fapt, noi ne aducem mintea și conștiința, cum facem vindecătorul, la nivelul aici în piept, unde e diamantul nostru, știți? Este ceva foarte frumos, care ne arată de unde trebuie să lucrăm noi. Dacă coborâm gândurile noastre la nivelul inimii, asta înseamnă că gândim benefic. Și atunci aceste gânduri, vibrații pozitive simultane, pentru că trebuie să știți că putem face minuni împreună, toți oamenii de pe Terra, putem transforma pozitiv toată realitatea noastră de pe pământ. Cu alte cuvinte, trebuie decât să conștientizăm aceste posibilități ale noastre ca ființe umane.
Și chiar aveți un diamant foarte frumos. Eu recunosc că m-am tot uitat la ele în timpul emisiunii.
Puteți să vă luați unul.
Am unul la casă, dar exact. Nu l-am purtat până acum. Am ajuns la finalul emisiunii. Da. Eu vă mulțumesc foarte mult pentru această temă deosebită și bineînțeles că vă așteptăm și data viitoare.
Cu mare drag.
Doamnelor, domnilor, vă mulțumesc și dumneavoastră. Vă doresc să aveți parte de o săptămână frumoasă. În primul rând, un weekend liniștit și un început de săptămână frumos. Toate cele bune!